If we turn our backs and spit in his face, is God still gonna bless the USA?
Rabbi was at odds with his congregation, so the president of the synagogue convened a meeting to settle the dispute. The rabbi soon discovered he was the sole dissenting voice. After some discussion, the president of the synagogue announced, "Let us now vote and let the majority rule." When the votes were collected, the president said, "Rabbi, you are outvoted 11-1. We have the majority." The rabbi rose to his feet and said, "So you think you're right and I am wrong because of a vote? Well, think again, for I will call on the Holy One of Israel to give us a sign that I am right and you are wrong." Immediately, a deafening clap of thunder sounded. The room was filled with smoke, and the president and the elders were thrown to the floor, but the rabbi remained standing, untouched and triumphant. The president of the synagogue slowly rose from underneath the table. His hair was singed and his clothes were in disarray. After some time, he responded, saying, "So it's 11-2, but we still have the majority." Greetings, patriots. I'm Perry Green, and this is God in America. It is almost amusing to watch the Marxist politicians and their mainstream media ally promote democracy in America. Anytime conservatives speak, the networks label them as a threat to our democracy. The New York Times even stated that the way to save our democracy is to end democracy. Even elected officials, most of whom cannot pass a simple civics test, endorse national democracy. They forget that they are part of a representative republic. If we were a democracy, it would be necessary for the people to attend every political meeting and vote on every issue. Instead of the rule of law, we would be under the control of the 51%. The laws would change at the whim of the majority. The United States is not a democracy. While we employ democratic principles, we are a republic and will remain one. As Benjamin Franklin said, if you can keep it. Our American ancestors studied history in depth and knew the danger of democracies. As they pursued the best government for the colonies, they researched the result of ancient administrations. They did not rewrite the past to support their agenda. Through their biblical worldview, they knew of our sinful tendencies. They did not want a monarchy because power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. They understood the fickleness of people who need guidance that God-based laws can provide, so they opted for a representative Republican form of government, not a democracy. Here are 3 quotes on their views. First, Alexander Hamilton. Democracy is like 2 wolves and a lamb voting on what to eat for lunch, but a republic is a well-armed lamb contesting the vote. John Adams said, "Remember, democracy never lasts long. It soon wastes, exhausts, and murders itself. There is never a democracy that did not commit suicide." And then Thomas Jefferson, "The democracy will cease to exist when you take away from those who are willing to work and give to those who would not." 2 fundamental powers are vying for the control of our hearts in this spiritual warfare we've been thrust into. One is from within and the other is from without. Paul wrote, "For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am of the flesh, sold under sin. For I do not understand my own actions, for I do not do what I want, but I do the very thing I hate. Now if I do what I do not want, I agree with the law that it is good. So now it is no longer I who do it, but sin that dwells within me. For I know that nothing good dwells in me, that is, in my flesh. For I have the desire to do what is right, but not the ability to carry it out. For I do not do the good I want, but the evil I do not want is what I keep on doing. Now, if I do what I do not want, it is no longer I who do it, but sin that dwells within me." A democracy is nothing more than mob rule. The majority can vote for the control of the purse strings and force the minority to pay their way. A republic is imperfect but preferable. There's no question that the republic our forefathers set up is corrupt now. The power mongers have taken control of and removed the original checks and balances our ancestors put in place to separate the powers. The reason for this governmental corruption is our fallen nature. At the National Centennial, Congressman James Garfield said that Americans were responsible for the character of our Congress. If we had a good representation, it was because the people were good. If we had corruption, it was because the people were corrupt. We, the people, have fallen down on the job and turned a blind eye to the bureaucratic dishonesty in our governmental system, from city councils and local school boards to state and federal legislators. The good news is the pendulum is swinging and the American sleeping giant is reawakening. Groups of citizens are reconnecting with their government and are holding their representatives accountable. Recently, in my hometown, the city council favored a venture that most of the citizens opposed. Recall petitions started and the council retreated, voting down the proposal. Fraudulent elections are real. Americans must fight for the integrity of our Bible-based republic. Our constitutional republic will not work if we don't. Well, thanks for being with us today. Please like, share, follow, and subscribe to our podcasts. If you'd like to support our ministry, visit our website at godinamerica.com. As we close, let's keep the light of our God-based republic burning.